It is time for the updated under $250 top 5 IEM list. Yes, we're doing it very early this year. The main reason being is that there's been a bunch of IEM releases last year that were so good that it made the previous list pretty much irrelevant. So much so that the previous #1 spot only made it to the #4 spot this year. Hey friends, Timmy here, welcome back to another video on Giz Audio, and today we have top 5 best IEMs you can buy today for under $250. 2022 edition. Before we begin the list, I have to say, don't be fooled by the price of these IEMs. Yes, these are under $250, but IEMs of recent few months have gotten so good to the point where a lot of these IEMs, especially the ones in this list, are now competing with IEMs in the $300 to $500 bracket, and some even competing in the $500 to $700 bracket. Lower price IEMs are now becoming higher and higher quality as the year goes by, and that's something that I'm super excited about, and you guys should be happy about as well, because no longer do we have to spend every dollar in our bank account to get premium sound quality. Anything less than 500 or just around 500 usually would get you near flagship level performance already. And I believe as the year goes on, 2023, 2024, IEMs of $500 and lower will be generally similar quality, if not at the same level as today's flagship. The path we're taking now in this IEM industry, in the IEM hobby, is a very positive and very promising one. Now, starting off the list, breaking into #5 spot, we have Audio Lokahi. Now, this is from an independent brand. One guy made this, not a big factory, and that's what makes this IEM even more impressive, because this is from a new brand, from one guy, and it is very competitive in today's market. Audio Lokahi is a very versatile, neutral tune IEM with focus on the bass. Generally, this style of tuning works really well with pretty much any kind of genre, making this one of the most versatile IEM out there on the market. If you don't know what to buy, you don't know your taste, Audio Lokahi is a very safe purchase. One caveat though, this is a little bit hard to buy because it sells out so quickly, because it's made by one guy, they come in batches, and they don't make that many of them. So if you see this on sale and you've been wanting one, I would say grab it as soon as you see it, because you don't know when it might come back onto the market. Now, in comparison to other IEMs on this list, the reason this is only at the #5 is because it is at the top of our price bracket. This thing is $240, which is right at the cutoff, while other IEMs in this list are cheaper and arguably similar in quality, if not better. So that's the only reason this IEM is at #5, but it does have a selling point, being that it is extremely versatile, relatively well tuned, and for the price, absolutely worth it. Next, we have the #4 spot now, and the #4 spot was the previous year's #1 spot, and this one is the Hana 2021. Yes, if you recall last year, the Hana 2021 and the Moondrop KXXS, those two were tied for the #1 spot. The KXXS is now being replaced with an IEM that we're going to talk about next, and the Hana 2021 fell from grace a little bit from #1 all the way down to #4. This one is a Harman tune IEM. It's going to have a lot of mid-bass, making this IEM extremely fun and great for fun genres like EDM, rock, metal, and any pop music that relies a lot on bass, fast bass, fun beats. The Hana 2021 is going to play all of those genres extremely well. The other great thing about the Hana 2021 is the upper mid-range. It's sparkly, it has a lot of energy, so K-pop, J-pop, anime soundtrack, female vocals in general will play also really well on the Hana 2021. It is quite versatile if you like bass. If you don't like a lot of thumpy mid-bass, then the Hana 2021 is not going to be for you. But if you're into that kind of sound signature, then the Hana is one of the best ones you can grab right now. Moving on to the top 3 spot now, #3, we have the Moondrop Kato. Now, the Moondrop Kato replaces the previous #1, the Moondrop KXXS. In a quick summary, the Kato is just the KXXS, but better in almost every single way. The technical performance is better, the detail is better, the stage is better. The energy in the treble is also better than the KXXS, making the KXXS pretty much irrelevant. Like, you don't need that IEM anymore. You want the KXXS or the drop version KXXX. Don't get those. Get the Kato. It is just better and for the same exact price. Now, the Kato only slightly beat the Hana 2021 for the number 3 spot. The biggest differences between them are going to be in the bass, the upper mid-range, and the detail retrieval. The bass on the Kato is just tighter, more dynamic than the Hana overall. Not that the Hana is not dynamic, but the Kato just does it slightly bit better. In the upper mid-range, I would say the Hana 2021 does it better than the Kato. The Kato has more energy than the previous KXXS, but not as much as the Hana does. And for me, when it comes to female vocals, I would go to the Hana any day of the week. If I want tighter bass, I would go with the Kato. Now, in terms of detail retrieval, the Kato is better. It has wider stage and just overall more resolving than the Hana. Thus, it makes the number 3 spot, and the Hana 2021 ends up only at the number 4. Both of them still really great IEM. I mean, we're really splitting hairs here between which one is better. I think it's up to your preference at the end of the day. For me, the Kato is slightly better, but you really can't go wrong with either one. Ah man, we're on to the last two, and I gotta be honest here, the last two was so hard to pick. I mean, they're so close in quality, in my personal opinion, that they are literally like neck and neck. It's so hard to put one over the other, but ultimately, for the sake of this video, I had to. And the number 2 spot goes to this IEM right here. It breaks my heart that it's at the number 2 because it is my personal favorite. Personally, it's my number 1, but in general, in terms of quality, it's number 2. And this IEM is the C Audio X Critical Midnight. I just did a review of this, so if you want to hear the full thoughts, you can watch the full review on the channel. I think it's the previous 2 videos or so. But yes, this one extremely well tuned, very natural sounding vocals, instrumentals, everything just in general sounds correct and wonderful. Beautiful and wonderful. I love how this thing sounds. I can listen to it all day. This could have been priced at $300 and I would have still wholeheartedly recommend this to pretty much anybody. It punches above the price range, again competing in the $300 to $400 price bracket for the price of only $200. It is absolutely a stunning piece of IEM. For $200, it's hard to beat this IEM. There's only one that beats it, and that's the number 1 spot right here. The Timeless, man. If this competes in the $300 to $400, this competes in the $500 to $700, especially in terms of detail retrieval. Now, in terms of tuning, I would say I enjoy the Midnight tuning better than the Timeless because this thing has a little bit too much bass for me at times, while this is perfectly well balanced. Just enough bass, just enough treble. The Midnight is beautiful. The treble on the Timeless, though, is absolutely wonderful. It's sparkly, female vocals and percussion comes across very energetic and crispy. The best part about the Timeless, however, is in the details, the speed of these IEMs. It plays the drums, the bass, all busy tracks like nothing else. It is a monster when it comes to speed, when it comes to detail retrieval, especially under $500. So little IEMs comes close to this. And it just has to be at the number 1 spot. Although for me personally, for my taste and my genre of music, I would listen to the Midnight more than the Timeless, but in overall performance, man, the Timeless just wins. If you love fun genres, rock, metal, EDM, fast type of music, the Timeless is just a killer. It's a must-have in your collection, especially if your budget is under $300.